Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Pillars of Pro Wrestling Ontario. I'm your host, Ryan Knight, and over the next few episodes, we're going to be introducing you to different members of the PWO roster and getting you closer to the action. Now, over the last couple of weeks, we've had some incredible guests, including the OpenWeight champion Tyler Hill and last week's returning Devin Parkside. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different, I feel, because up until, or as of recently, this man's been a little bit short on his words. We had a conversation back during the foundation, and he didn't have a lot to say to me, let's put it that way. So I'm curious to see how this goes, but we're bringing in the number one contender for the OpenWeight champion, Antihero SOS. Antihero, thank you so much for being on the show. Last time I saw you, you had not a lot to say to me. You had just finished you won your number one contendership, pardon me, for the OpenWeight Championship. And you didn't have a lot of words for me. You didn't want to explain anything. So now that we're a little more intimate, we got a little more chance to talk. What's going on in Hacker's world or Antihero's world? Because you've gone through some changes.
Yeah, see, we've only known each other recently. And I understand that first impressions leave a lasting impression. So you might think I'm a bit of a dick, and you might not be wrong, but a lot of people that know me know that the character, and I use character in air quotes because, well, let me get to it. I rebranded as the Antihero. I was Hacker for years, and a lot of people think it did me great things, and really it didn't do anything. Okay, I was just kissing babies and slapping hands for years, and I was at the same spot for the same time, and then all of a sudden, a little tweak, and I hate when the experts are right, but I just started being me. I started being authentically me, and that came with, hey, a name change, a rebrand. And I just started being this guy that I'm comfortable with, Maybe at one point I was this nerdy hacker, and for sure I was in high school. But I'm a 31-year-old man now. I have a family, I have a wife, I have a baby on the way. Things change and attitudes change, and that's all that happened there. You want to talk to me in the back? I'll be a nice guy. I'll joke around. I'll do all that. But as soon as you get me into the pro wrestling universe and I'm out there, I got to be serious. And all of a sudden, I start being serious. I start being that asshole that's not so lovable anymore. And what happens? Within seconds, I'm number one contender. I'm on posters for shows. I'm getting paid more money than I ever have. I should have caught on to this trick years ago.
You mentioned, though, that again, we don't know each other all that well. We recently became acquainted with each other. I was there for that turn. I watched you earn that number one spot, and I use the term earn very loosely. And you can't say that I'm wrong in saying that.
Well, just explain it to me why I'm wrong. I believed I beat 3 people in one match, and then I won a singles match before that. Where did I not earn that?
I mean, at the end of the day, you're right. The statistics and the match will say that you won. You came out as the victor. But do you honestly believe in your head that you went into that matchup and earned that victory, turning on a good friend of yours, pulling out a weapon, and sneaking a victory in there? That, to me, is exactly what happened. I'm not a wrestler, so who knows? But
this is where I get sick of questions like this, okay? I understand you're working for a company that's making you do this podcast. The pro wrestling world doesn't begin and end at PWO, okay? Me and Steve are great friends. We might be too much of alike to be friends because I've wrestled with him countless times where I thought he had my back, and he did exactly what I did to him to get that one more step further up. And you know what? It was time to pay the piper. It was my time to do the same. We both get it, okay? Is there bad blood? Maybe. Will we get over it? Probably. History has told us we will. But I did what I had to do that night, and I will continue to do what I have to do every night.
Well, for the sake of keeping a pleasant conversation and my own safety, let's switch topics a bit. I do also want to address your history with Steve Brown because, of course, you were one of the inaugural trios champions alongside Steve Brown, a part of the Gentlemen's Club. What's going on with that then? Are you guys, as you mentioned just now, everything is great outside of PWO, but of course, you guys have such a rich history in PWO. You can't honestly tell me that you're willing to just throw that all away.
I'm not willing to throw it away, but Steve's a professional. I'm a professional. Okay. We're going to do what we got to do. Sometimes it's not worth it. The juice is not worth the squeeze, and we got each other's back. And sometimes, and I believed this time, it was worth throwing my friend under the bus. He'll get over it one day. And if he doesn't, that's his hill to die on. I don't care. I'll get over it.
Strong words. So let's then talk about the opportunity that you earned. And that would be your number one contendership with the OpenWeight Championship, Tyler Hill. So how do you plan for this? Because obviously Tyler Hill being the Canadian bad boy, you being the anti-hero, that's a matchup that a lot of people are looking forward to. What are you doing to prepare for that?
What do I have to do to prepare for a guy who wrestles in blue jeans? Okay. I'm a professional wrestler. I've been doing this for closer to 20 years. That might be embarrassing to say at this point because people might go, "Oh, you're still a local guy." I don't care. I'm exactly where I want to be, and exactly where I want to be is going to be pinning Tyler Hill. Okay, I've seen guys like him forever. Okay, the Canadian badass, the Canadian bad boy, whatever he wants to call it. I call myself a winner, and that's all it's going to be. Okay, I hate to cut these cliche wrestling promos, but at the end of the day, I've been doing this for a long time. I get overlooked all the time, and I'm fine with it because I don't put myself over on social media all the time. I'm not looking for clout. I'm not looking to jerk off my own ego. I don't go for that. Call me the strong silent type. Call me the guy who doesn't know how to play the game. I don't care. I'm the guy that shows up every time and does what needs to be done, as you can see with my match against Steve Brown. Okay? So Tyler Hill, let's put it this way. I'm going to drag you into the deepest water you've ever been in, and we're going to see if you can swim. And if you can, congratulations. But I believe the sharks are going to eat you.
So I'm hearing a lot of passion behind that. And I guess I'm curious, do you see, obviously you wouldn't, but do you see a world where you don't win the OpenWeight Championship against Tyler Hill? And how would you come back from that?
No, I don't see it at all. Listen, I have a history, and you can search it out. If I go into something and I tell you I'm going to win, if I got to tell you I'm going to perform at my best, if I promise anytime I'm going to give you something spectacular, you can backtrack me and look it up. I've never lied about that. And I'm not just saying that. You can research it, okay? I have a history of Smash Wrestling. I have a history of crazy matches. I have a history of going for championships. When I say I'm going to do what I'm going to do, it always happens. I can't even think of an instance to prove me wrong. And I totally believe wholeheartedly I'm a better professional wrestler than Tyler Hill. I got more tricks up my sleeve. I know what I'm doing. I have the experience. I got everything. You write it you put all the cards on the table. My deck is stacked much more than Tyler Hill's, and I just have no way of seeing how he's going to beat me, especially wearing Wranglers.
That's fair. Well, especially when you carry a nightstick.
Well, it's actually a billy club, an extendo
billy club. Oh, okay. There we go.
But yet again, I understand what you're going there. We're going to act like I'm the first guy ever who's brought in a toy out and won something. The guy calls himself the Canadian badass or whatever. You're telling me he's a hardcore wrestler, for Christ's sakes, okay? But now, because I've used it to win matches, it's not allowed. It's only cheating if you get caught. I didn't get caught. I'll tell you I used it. The referee can see I used it after the match. Doesn't matter. It makes him look like an idiot. He counted the pin afterwards.
You know, I'm just here to say the facts, man. I'm just here to say the facts. And I'm not disagreeing with that entirely. To be honest with you, I'm not going to completely disagree with that. Now, one thing I do disagree with, however, is, again, your blatant attempt at, you seem angry. You seem like you've got a chip on your shoulder. You seem like there's a lot of things that are pissing you off. And honestly, I don't understand why. You're somebody who is well respected. And I feel like you're now no longer caring about that respect. You only care about the goal, the championship. So with that in mind, then, let's say you do beat Tyler Hill in a perfect world, in your perfect world. Mm-hmm. What happens next for PWO? What do you do to the Pro Wrestling Ontario world as openweight champion?
This is how I've looked at titles for a long time now, even before I went through the rebranding and the character change, however you want to put it. The title means nothing to me. It's dirt, okay? I will not respect the title. I'll probably won't take the title home, if I'm going to be completely honest. I'll tell the promoter to keep it, or I'll throw it in the back of my truck until the next show. I don't care about the title. That is a materialistic object. All I care about is the power that comes with it. And essentially, when you're champion of a promotion, whether they like to believe it or not, you hold them by the balls. You basically hold them hostage. So when I'm champion, I will then wrestle who I want to wrestle, get paid what I want to get paid, and change the show if I want to, because I have them by the balls, like I said. And that is the fun. That is what nobody gets. Everybody's on mark is chasing the title for their Instagram pictures. I don't care about the title, okay? I'd pawn it off if it was up to me. I just care about what comes with it, and it's the power.
It sounds like it's going to be an interesting championship reign if Anti-Hero gets in, to say the very least. Yeah. Again, I say if. I know you're thinking when, but for me personally, as the man in the pocketbook of PWO, I can't pick sides. Can't start picking sides now. Now, I do have to ask you. You are somebody who obviously has experience in tournaments, being the winner of the Foundry tournament to earn your opportunity. Mm-hmm. What's your take right now on the Iron Cup tournament? Obviously, that's been delayed with all the craziness going on in our world. What is your stance on Iron Cup when it does come back? How do you see it playing out? How do you see your role in that?
If I get booked in it, I'll go as far as I want to go. If I don't get booked on it, I'll sit back and watch. I love professional wrestling. I'm not scared to admit that. I love scouting talent. I love seeing what's out there. But if I'm in it to win it. Because every time I win a match, you go up the rankings. That's another match. That's another payday. That's close to the title. That's closer to the cup, whatever you want to call it. And like I said, it just brings you closer to holding them by the balls and having something that gives you leverage. Okay. I'm a professional wrestler. Professional. I do this to make money. I do this to get further in life. Okay. And a lot of people don't think there is money in this. The crazy thing is there is. Okay. I can pay off my mortgage when I wrestle. Okay. This pandemic sucks, not just because I want to get out there and stretch some guys out and have some fun. It's because it's keeping food off my table. I make money doing this, but it's taken me a long time, and I take that serious. So book me in the tournament. Consider me the underdog. I'll just keep coming back.
I'm almost hearing that because we've talked a lot about the changes you've undergone in the last little while. And do you think it might be fair to say that COVID's played a huge role in that? Do you feel like you've been sitting at home stewing and really just kind of focusing on how to change? Because to me, again, before the last time I saw you, you didn't have this chip on your shoulder, not this big.
Listen, again, I have a podcast too. I'm a happy-go-lucky guy. I'm a real happy guy. This doesn't come from a point of anger. Maybe a little bit of frustration because I do love to perform. I do love being a professional wrestler. And I believe pro wrestlers wrestle. And right now, I'm not wrestling. I'm not getting my reps in. And that drives me absolutely insane. And that's where the frustration comes from. But I've been doing this for, I believe, 17 years now, okay? My body's always felt great. But now I've just had a year to heal. I feel even better. This 1 year has really extended my career by 10 years. So I'm frustrated. Absolutely. I think everybody is. I'll give everybody the benefit of the doubt for that. But I'm more motivated now than ever because, yeah, I do have a chip on my shoulder. And I also feel like I'm 10 again. Okay. My body feels so rubbery and loose. I'm ready to go. I got more bumps in front of me than I do behind me. And that's pretty impressive. So yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to hit the road with the wheels running.
I mean, it's been a tense conversation, but I have to say, even with me thinking that you might be angry, I can't deny your hunger. I can't deny your passion. That definitely seems like when you're able to get back in that ring and do something again, I'm curious to see what it is because I know the old hacker, not well, but I've seen the old hacker wrestle. I don't know what the antihero is going to do. So I'm very curious to see what happens when PWO comes back. Antihero, thank you so much for taking the time. Before we let you go, is there anything you want to say to the PWO audience?
That's interesting.
Or maybe the locker room. What do you want to say to the PWO world in general?
What I want to say, and I hate how cliche it sounds, but you know what? Keep overlooking me. Keep overlooking the ones that aren't jerking themselves off on social media all the time. Okay? You never have to call yourself the best in the world. That is for fans to call you. Okay? When you start calling yourself one of the best, it just means you're a poser, and we all know that. I've been sitting in the shadows for a long time, and I've been getting compliments for a long time. I don't have to retweet it all, okay? Those are the guys who are dangerous.
Quite a statement there from the Antihero SOS. Again, guys, be sure to check out Antihero across face. Actually, are you even on social media, Antihero? I don't even believe you are.
If you can find me, feel free to add me, and I will add you. Check out my podcast, Wrestling with Myself. That's when you'll get a glimpse into the even nicer guy that I am.
Fair enough. Well, of course, guys, be sure to check out Pro Wrestling Ontario. Like them all across social media and the Old Foundation series. We cannot wait to come back, and we cannot wait to see what happens when Tyler Hill goes one-on-one with Antihero SOS.